web servers and operating systems eventually come to the end of their useful lives. Not only do they get significantly superseded by newer versions, but eventually manufacturers cease supporting them. Now, end of support can mean no more security updates. A new vulnerability is found, you're on your own because now you're out of support. Now, here's a good example of this. This is every version of Microsoft Server operating system since NT4 back in the mid-90s through to present day. And what you'll notice here is that NT4, Windows 2000 and Windows Server 2003 are all at end of support as of the time of recording. Now, each one of those server versions has their own version of IIS, and consequently those IIS versions are out of support. Nobody should be running IIS 6 today due to it being out of support. So support ended in July 2015. Some enterprise customers have paid for extended support, but clearly they're on borrowed time. So the prevalence of IIS 6 should now be very low. But let's have a look at how low it actually is. Let's go and do another Shodan search. So let's search for IIS/6.0, and that's the server response header that's returned by an IIS 6 web server running on Windows Server 2003. And here are our results. There's just over 1.1 million IIS instances that Shodan knows about. There'll be many, many more that are running behind corporate firewalls and away from public view. That's a huge number, and they're almost all out of support. The only ones left in support will be from customers who are paying for that extended support, that very, very expensive extended support from Microsoft. It is very highly likely that in many of these cases, there simply was not a plan for the end of life of this product. As an ethical hacker, seeing a web server such as IIS 6 is very attractive because particularly that specific web server, IIS 6, was the last of an era before IIS 7 came along and implemented significantly stronger security controls. There have been many, many known vulnerabilities in Windows Server 2003 and IIS 6 over the years. And that's the same with many other operating system and web server products. Again, it's certainly not a Microsoft-specific issue. But clearly, in this case, one of the first things you want to be doing as an ethical hacker is checking what that version of the web server is. And conversely, as a system administrator, you should have a plan for support as you approach end of life. So that's web servers in their twilight years. Let's now move on and have a look at locking down services.